This is Richard Fowler. I'm John Kilpatrick with Oklahoma Aikido, Louisville, Kentucky, USA. And this is a leading video, and what I want to do is do a lead with a technique that doesn't have any name in Aikido. I have seen Shiota do this a fair bit on his videos, and I think I've seen O-Sensei and maybe a couple of other people do this also. And I'm just going to call it a back pivot. So normally, when if Richard gets his kniffy and he's stabbing, so normally this is my favorite technique, you know, because I'm leading this past me, and then I'm hitting him when he would hit me, and I like that a whole lot. And this movement is very similar, except I turn my back on him. So he stabs, and I turn like this, so that I turn my back toward him. And that superficially seems stupid, but it is something that's done in Aikido, and actually it's very effective. Richard is a Taekwondo guy as well as an Aikido guy. He's kind of old now for Taekwondo. It requires a little more athleticism than old guys necessarily have. But Taekwondo guys like this a lot. And so in Taekwondo, you know, he'd be attacking, and they'd come here and smack them with this hand, give this backhand as they step in there. And so over the years, we've had a good many Taekwondo guys practice with us, and they like that a lot, and they do that really well. You know, about the first time you get hit like that, you get a whole lot of respect for it. And so let's look at how this is done. You know, for a long time, I would try to do this move and trying to figure out what O-Sensei and what Shiota were doing, and I just got stabbed or got hit. And I don't know just what Taekwondo guys are doing when they're pulling this off. They're probably a lot faster than I am. But this is a leading technique. So when he comes in here with this, what I'm doing is putting my arm right along beside his arm. And I can do that to the back like that, or if he stabs, I can do this to the front. And here's the trick to it. As he stabs, I run my arm right along his arm, and he follows the arm instead of following me. So then now remember, just basic leading. He's trying to stab me in the body. Boom. And what I want to do is substitute my hand or my arm for my body, so that and his attention gets on that. And this is a trick that tricks his perceptual systems. This is really a magic trick, like in stage magic, not as in voodoo magic or something. But so when he stabs, I substitute my arm, and in this case, I turn my back and move my body out of the way of his attack. And so when I do this then, and he stabs, I have to move my arm, I follow him and get out of the way. Now, a big mistake here that gets you killed is to keep your body close to you. So if he's coming in there and I keep this hand here, he actually follows the arm in. So it's worse than doing nothing, because, you know, it's not just a matter of him being quick enough to keep up with what you're doing, but you're actually pulling him into you and killing yourself. So the critical thing in everything we do is your hand moves first. So when he comes, my hand starts moving, and then I have to pivot out of the way, except I'm pivoting backwards here. Now, this kind of technique is useful. I mean, you can do it anytime, and but this kind of lead. But where it is particularly good is particularly good with dealing with kicks, and particularly good in dealing where you have to go between two people. And usually if two people are attacking you, you try to go to the outside so that you don't get trapped between them. But if you're completely circled or in a narrow hall or something, there's no way to go to the outside. So if we're dealing with kicks, and like I say, this works with anything. You just saw me doing it with a ski. You can do it with shomanuchi. You can do it with yokomanuchis. So if he strikes shomanuchi, I just step like this and I'm out of it. If he strikes yokoman, I'm back here, I'm out of the way of it. So it works really well. But it works with kicks also. And the principle is the same. So now the problem we have in Aikido is that, you don't do kicks in Aikido. I mean, you might do it a little bit in Aikido class as kind of a throw-in for self-defense, but it's not part of Aikido. And so you're not used to seeing kicks. And if you can't see kicks, you're not likely to successfully defend them. So I'm not good at this. We don't practice it a lot. Richard is, but it's my job to do these demonstrations. And then I'd be kicking, and you're not going to be pleased with my kicks either. I did karate years ago, but it was a long time ago. So when he goes to kick, just to see, I'm leading here, and this leads that kick past me. I'm not trying to parry the kick. I'm not trying, and I should have my fingers closed so you can see my novel, that I'm not used to doing this. Back when I would do karate and I'd leave my fingers open and I accidentally hit the leg, it was a horrible experience. So I should not have my fingers open. So he goes to kick, and this is coming to the inside. I can go to the outside, so he kicks, and I'm coming to the outside. Now, I also do this with circular kicks, like a roundhouse kick or something. And, over the years in Aikido classes, playing with, well, how would I do against those kind of kicks, doing Aikido kind of moves? And I've gotten my ribs broken doing that, because like with Richard, when he does a round kick, his knee comes up, and if I run into that knee, I have run into that knee, and I have broken my ribs. And my partner was not trying to hurt. He didn't even kick. All he did was bring his knee up, and I go charging into it and had a horrible experience. So if I'm dealing with a round kick, when I come in, I lean down, and I have this arm protecting my ribs. If I happen to be going the other way and I come into one of those, I'm doing the same thing. I have my arm here protecting me so that I don't get things broken, so I'm protected from those kicks. And so preferably with those kind of kicks, I would rather go in front of them. So if he's kicking a circular kick, then I'm going to come in there and hit him hard in the neck if I can. And if he parries it, then I'm set up to go into an ikkyo or something, but come in to defend that kick. So this is very similar to what he does in Taekwondo for defending kicks. He doesn't pivot quite this much. He'll pivot like this, but he's taking the kick behind him so he can come in and deal with the kicker. And then the other situation, let's change positions. The other situation is where you have two people attacking you, and I have to get between these two people. So I come in here, see, and so when he's coming in to stab, I go between it, I parry this, or not parry it, but lead it past me and bring this guy in here, now I've gotten out of this mess. So this is really great, and in this situation, I'm really, I could end up doing this twice, doing it with both people. But as he comes, I'm leading this. Now here he's in front of me. Here's my favorite technique, leading this way and hitting the guy. And because I didn't do anything to stop that guy, I just got away from him, I bring this guy around. So that when the other guy comes back at me, I have an obstacle. So thank you. And that's, so next time I'll show you how the structure break that we use with this. But really, this takes a little getting used to. It's really, for me, it was very scary at first, turning my back on a guy attacking me. And like I say, we enjoy practicing with these rubber knives. Not that we think we are great at defending knives, but the rubber knife, we can really try to stab our partners and we don't have to worry about people getting hurt. And the knife also makes practice more exciting. Now, if you're going to train this way, you also have to remember to train empty-handed some, because empty hand movements are different from knife movements. So you want to be able to defend both.